Hey, you guys, it's your girl Aquila coming straight at you from Diva-Villege. My mind, my thoughts. Today I did things a little different again. So what I did today was I'm gonna do the live streaming first, and then I'm gonna show the actual show that I did. My guests, they're in the lobby. I'm gonna talk to you guys first, and then I'll bring in my guests. Okay? So, all right, Ann, right on time, right on time. So I'm gonna go ahead and start the show first, and then I'll bring in my guests once they get their stuff together. So the title of my show tonight was "Save the Children," and the reason why I chose "Save the Children" is because our kids are in danger. They are like an endangered species. There's so much that's going on with our kids, and people are actually ignoring the situation. So the reason I'm doing this show tonight is so that I can bring awareness to this thing called child abuse, child molestation, sexual abuse, all these different things that's going on with our kids. Okay, so we just about got this together. So I'm going to bring in one of my guests now so that we can start with this. So Ann and Lakeisha, thank you guys for joining in, and get ready because here we go. Let me bring in my first guest. Hey, Tasha.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome back to Diva-Villege.
Thank you.
So I do have another guest that's coming in. She'll be in a few minutes, and then I'll bring her in with us. But in the meantime, Tasha, I'm gonna just start with you. First of all, I want to thank you for being on the other show, the one that pre-recorded. So with this,
You're welcome.
So with this one here, we're going to continue on with it. But now that we have other people in, that you will be able to also, answer questions and stuff for them. So Tasha, before we start, introduce yourself to them and just give them a little background about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Natasha Shelley. I am a licensed therapist. I'm also certified as a trauma specialist, and I am also a guardian ad litem. I provide in-home therapy to families and children, adolescents in their home. And as a guardian ad litem, I am the voice of a child in court that has been abused or neglected.
Thank you. So now, the reason that I'm bringing her in is because she has experience. Now I can talk about this, but she can give you guys more background and more information on this right here. Hey Keisha, hey Deirdre, and hey Ann. I'm glad you guys are in. And anybody else that's in there, their name is not there. Welcome to. Hey Brian, how are you? So welcome to Diva-Villege. So again, the title of my show was Save the Children. So let me bring up my agenda so we can get to this right here. So, Tasha, what would you really consider to be child abuse? I don't really want to station too much, even though that's what it is. But just give me your definition.
As far as inappropriate touching, exposing children to inappropriate material, saying inappropriate things to them. I feel like all of those are elements of child abuse.
Okay. Now I have my other guest also. I'm going to bring her in to you guys. Okay. There we go. Hello, Chantel. How are you?
Hi, I'm well, and yourself?
I'm fine. Now, I'm just getting started, and I just had Tasha to introduce herself and give a little background about herself. So you can do the same thing. Introduce yourself. Hey, you guys, and give some background information on yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Chantel Harden. I am a program director at Interborough Developmental and Consultation Center. I work with the Health Home Serving Children's Program. I'm currently servicing 250 children who may have serious emotional disturbances, chronic illnesses, and mostly complex trauma. We're basically the resource guide for them, where we find them resources. We complete care coordination for them, benefit coordination. We advocate on their behalf, just basically helping the family and helping the parent to find resources that they may need or they may not know that are available to them. We also help the family as well, whether the parent who may have some type of mental illness and may be undiagnosed. We help link them to services, so this way we could kind of holistically treat the family. We have case conferences with the therapists as well as the psychiatric providers as well. So basically, we try to have help with a holistic approach when it comes to certain children, especially children who are in need and who have emotional disturbances.
Okay, so now Tasha had just started and she had just introduced herself, and the first thing that I asked her was, what is her definition of, I put it all together. It's like sexual abuse, child molestation. What would be your definition of that?
Exposing a child to an experience that that's not age appropriate, that breaks boundaries, and that kind of like sexual exploitation, things that may exploit the child and bring the child or expose the child to more trauma, and that may cause issues in the years ahead.
So now, the reason why I chose this topic in particular, the reason why I chose you too, because I needed somebody with a professional background on this right here, because I can give my opinion, but professionally, no. And I think that when it comes down to abuse with kids, I think that this is something that needs to be brought to the forefront, because this is something that a lot of people, they want to hide. Someone had made the comment to me today, and they were saying that they look at child molestation as a soft hit for rape, because when you think of rape, you think of an adult, not as a child. But when it comes down to it, it's basically the same thing. What do you guys think?
I agree. I feel like molestation is more so geared towards children, and rape is more so forcibly and more so geared towards adults. But I do feel like those are terms that can go hand in hand interchangeably.
I also as well. It's just molestation is like I believe it's a softer word for rape. It's like a gateway into the behavior, into the mannerism as well. And the word molestation basically starts the pattern or starts the cycle of what the child believed that made part of intercourse,
right,
or physical interaction. So not only is the child being molested physically, it also starts something or triggers something mentally as well and changes the behavior.
So a lot of people think, like, every time something like this happens to somebody, it's not a stranger. It's always somebody that person knows, whether it be a teacher, a friend, a relative. Why do you guys think that these kids are so susceptible to going to be with these people?
Because they're people that they trust.
Okay.
I was ready to say the same thing. And that's most likely people won't think that it is.
Right.
It's suspectable.
So pretty much what you guys are saying, that if it's somebody that you trust, whether it be a teacher, a family member, somebody like that, what you're pretty much saying is, because it's one of these people are not going to do anything to hurt me. So how could this be wrong?
Right.
Exactly.
That is so sad. So it's the people that you know are the ones that hurt you the most. So
yes.
And it's funny though, because I always say too that if somebody in your family does something to you, nobody wants to talk about it. It's like, shh, don't say that. But if it's somebody do it, like if it's a school or something like that, sometimes they will talk about, I want to sue the school, I want to do this because of what you did to my child. But when it comes down to their own family or their own inner circle, why do you think they try to like just stay quiet on that tip?
It's because you can always change a school, but family is forever. You're always going to see that person. That person is going to be around family functions, Christmas, Thanksgiving, in church. And that person is always going to be somehow attached to you and your family. So in order not to cause chaos in their lives or bring attention or bring the stigma onto you or onto the child, or basically onto the parent, because sometimes it's not even about the child. We keep things on the hush. We keep it under the rug.
Yeah. So
I agree. They more so don't want to cause shame to their family. And then a lot of times, like, they feel like they need that person. Like, maybe they need that person to provide for their family. Maybe they need them to provide financially. Maybe they are in a relationship with that person and they don't want to believe that this is happening because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to have to break up their family.
And it's so sad. It's so sad because there are women and their kids are telling them, you know what, this person did this to me. Matter of fact, I saw a meme on Facebook just this past week. And in this meme, this little girl was talking to her mom, and she was saying that the uncle was touching her and doing all these different things. And the mother is saying, oh, no, 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 don't say that. He didn't do this right here. You know what I'm saying? You can't say this because he takes care of us, like you said, Tasha. So he's there for us. So if we do anything with this right here, you know, he's going to be in trouble. But then they have the guy in the background, and he's like, okay, so now the pressure is off. So I can do exactly what I want to do because nobody's going to do anything. And it's like, you do have people that actually, they do that. So, I mean, I don't even know how you can put this in words. So a person that would do something like that, is that somebody with low self-esteem or somebody that this has happened to themselves?
A lot of times it has happened to them before, and it's like a family cycle. Maybe it happened to the person that did it to them, and maybe it happened before that, and the problem wasn't rectified. So they continue to go on. So it's like a family cycle, and they feel like it was okay. No one protected me, so I'm going to do it to the next person.
That's sad. That's sad. So what you're saying, people that have been molested or been abused, they do this to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys work in this field. Do you guys have like any scenario or any situation that you guys want to share?
Well, like I've stated when we first spoke,
yes, please talk about that.
that we dealt with in the past, and the uncle was the caretaker, and the uncle was bringing the child to the sessions. And once the care manager, once the child was enrolled into our program and everything was interchangeable, we read in on the intake, and I believe it was to the point where the child could no longer take it, and they exposed the uncle, told what happened. The family member's been molesting me from this age to this age. And the next time they brought the child to the session, they actually arrested the uncle.
Oh, they did arrest him.
They arrested him. They arrested him. But the fact that is this person that's taking care of me, is this person that's caring for me, that's caring for my care, taking me here and there, and you've been touching me inappropriately. So I believe during the time of the questions that was being asked during therapy, it came out. So personally, I've dealt with clients, multiple clients like that. And sometimes, a lot of times, it's the male client.
Wow. So
it's a boy. So a lot of people are suspecting, like, oh, it's a girl. Maybe she's a little fat, she's a little fresh. That's what society was saying. But then you have these children, the boy's just sitting there playing. But because it happened to the perpetrator, this is how I initiate things, because this is how it was initiated with me. So now you pass on this cycle to this innocent child, and now this child is traumatized. You don't know if the child may turn out to be like them, or now the child's outlook on relationships is now tainted and damaged. But in this field, you're going to see a lot of things like that makes us cringeworthy, that makes you want to look away. But this is the reason why we're here.
So let me ask you. So when you guys approached this uncle, what was his response? Did he deny it?
My department didn't, but ACS did. I don't know the rest of it. I just know the end of it.
Wow, that is so sad. So sad. Tasha, have you had any situations?
Usually the ones I've dealt with, especially in my past with therapeutic foster care, I didn't deal with it like firsthand to where I was a reporter of the incident. So I was the one that was working with the children to get past the trauma. I have worked with children that were sexually aggressive, the ones that were the aggressor. And we were providing services for them. I've worked with the ones that have been perpetrated on as well, by family members, by siblings, sadly, and close family and friends.
So when you come in and this is what they've dealt with, how do you handle this to make them feel comfortable or make them feel like they do have somebody there to support them?
I continue to be very supportive of them. I let them know that they're safe, that there's no one that can hurt them. I let them know that I am a mandated reporter. So if they tell me something that that they know that has hurt someone else or has hurt them, then I am mandated to report. I also just I build that rapport with them so that they can establish that therapeutic relationship so that they can learn to trust me. I don't, as soon as services start, I don't immediately start therapy with them. I just kind of get on their level, just trying to figure out where they're coming from. A lot of times they don't have that person that they can go and talk to. So just making sure that they know that they are safe with me. That usually is the rapport starter.
So then some families have kids, right? And a lot of time when these perpetrators, they like to, I guess, prey on the younger ones. So once they get older, they don't want to be bothered with them anymore. They want to go to the younger siblings. So with the older siblings, do they become an abuser or do they become a protector of the younger ones?
It's it depends. It's like we state sometimes when it comes to this line of work, everything is case by case.
Yeah.
So it depends on the dynamics in the home. From what I've seen, the older one has become the protector of the younger one. And this is what I see because I'm on the administrative side of it now. This is what I read. But then even sometimes the protective one becomes the one that we wave the finger at. Okay. Because they know firsthand it happened to me, but trying to inform the caretakers and everything that this is going on with the younger one. Now the spotlight is on that older one, and now they're lying, they're telling stories to try to damage the person's image and stuff like that. So, but mostly they do become the protector.
What do you think, Tasha?
I've seen it where they have become the protector, and a lot of times I've seen that they resent the younger siblings because it wasn't happening to them. They weren't being protected. And in those cases, they actually perped on other younger children. But just because they perp on the other younger children doesn't mean they grow up to be child molesters if they receive the help that they need. But sometimes they do become the protector, and then sometimes they resent the younger ones.
So they say that it takes a nation, a village to raise children. So as a village, what can we do to help these kids?
Give them positive attention. And love starts within the home. Okay. That's number one. A child shouldn't have to go outside of their home or outside of the village to seek love in forms of drugs, promiscuous behavior, attention from other family members. Every day, let the children know, hey, we love you. We care for you. We're here for you. We go spend time with them. This is one thing that this generation does not know how to do, and that's spend family time. Yes. Everything is social media. Everything is the phone. Everything is the iPads. No one sits down at the dinner table anymore and say, so how was your day? Yeah. Inquire about what's going on with them, no matter how young, no matter how old. A 5-year-old has feelings as well. They have thoughts as well. They could tell you about their day as well, especially 5-year-olds of this generation in time, because I have one. But in any case, just show them love from the beginning. The parent is the first teacher. Yeah. So if we teach our children how to love, and how to love themselves and how to appreciate themselves and what to receive within themselves, they'll grow up to be human beings that know boundaries, that know limits, and they know what's right from wrong.
What do you think, Tasha?
I feel like if a child is reporting these things are happening, I feel like the parents should take them seriously. They know their children, so they know what behaviors that they have or what they're displaying. So if there's starting to be something out of the ordinary, I don't feel like they should brush that off or say that they're starting to be a defiant child or that they're starting to act out, because there is a reason. And I feel like they should address it at that time instead of allowing things to go on and pretending that they don't see it, turning a blind eye to it.
So when the kids are coming to you and they're talking to you, when I say to you, I just mean parents in general, and they're telling you about these situations and what's going on. When you're talking to them, should you just let them just talk, or should you fill in the blanks for them?
Let them talk. Definitely let them talk, because by you filling in the blanks with these conversations and whatever information they may be giving you, you don't want to mislead or give them any leading conversation. Okay. Just let them talk, nod, be attentive. If you can, document, because documentation is everything. But let them talk, let them get it out. And then afterwards, you ask what you need to ask.
And sometimes, do you think that when you're talking to them and you're asking questions and you're putting in your little 2 cents, it's making them lose some of their own thoughts and replacing them with whatever you're saying?
I think so, especially every time a child tells their story, they're reliving the trauma. They lived the trauma when it was happening to them, and then each time they tell their story is reliving the trauma. But if you continue to kind of saying, did it happen this way or did it happen that way, then the child is starting to rethink what they're saying and then adding what you're saying into the story. So then at the end, it's like it may be completely different from what happened in the beginning.
Okay, thank you. Maggie says, great show, great job. So you guys, while you're there, you can type in your comments, because this is why they're here, so that they can answer the things that you're saying. And the reason, again, why we're having this show is because so many people sweep this under the rug. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to discuss it. And then you end up missing the signs that are going on. So Tasha's already given a couple of signs and things that, that kids, they show when they're going through this right here. So I had asked her before, because she said to me, like, some of them, they start to go to the bathroom on themselves. And me, because I don't know, but I said to her, why do they lose control of their bodily function? And it's not that they're losing control of their bodily function. It's because they're in their beds, they feel safe, and they feel that if they get up and they go outside of their comfort zone, the same thing is going to happen again. So we as parents, how do we stop this right here? How do we help our kids feel safe and feel that they don't have to deal with this?
Watch the company that you keep around your child. That's number one. Children should never be exposed to adult conversations, adult surroundings too early or early on. So it all stems from what you have in your home, what you allow your child to watch, especially on TVs. Every child has, I know a 6-month-old who has a tablet now. Every child has a tablet. So parent control, even though as old school as it sounds, parent control still exists. So even though we can't stop it immediately, yes, we could take steps towards it by just monitoring our children, monitoring their surroundings, who we keep around them, conversations we have around them. There was an old saying that I used to hear my mom say all the time: stay in the child's place, be seen and not heard. And even now, there's times where you may see a small child in an adult conversation putting their 2 cents in constantly. Right. But if we keep them surrounded by positive things, if we keep them in a mind frame of that what's right and wrong and what's age appropriate, yes, those are small steps that we can, take towards hopefully stopping or coming to the end of molestation for our children.
So we have a comment. Charmaine is saying, how do you help children whose parents are in denial of the abuse? That's a good question.
It is, and I feel like it should be a conversation had with that parent, and letting them know what the child is going through. And it's going to take some time because the parent's going to continue to refuse to see. But I feel like those are conversations that should be had with that parent without the child present.
Definitely.
Great. We have a comment. I can't even see this. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't even see this too good. Can you guys see the comment?
Yes, I can see it.
Oh, read it, Tasha.
Cynthia Davis said, and for God's sake, please stop having any and everybody around your kids.
Exactly. So now with that, I have a problem with people having their kids sitting in people's laps. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people. I mean, I know back in the day we used to do it, let your kids entertain people and stuff like that. But when you start to entertain, you have to watch that too. And the reason why you have to watch it is because you may start drinking, you may doze off, this person may be still up, and the next thing you know, this person is touching and feeling all up on your kid. What do you guys think?
I agree. You don't know everybody's intentions, and everybody's intentions aren't good intentions.
Yes. And the sad part through all of this right here, it's the child that feels bad because the child feels that it's something that they did wrong. So when the child tells the parents call the police, or the parents tell somebody. Now this child feels what? That they're going to get in trouble. Why is that child in that situation?
I believe it's because the child feels like if I didn't say that, or maybe if I didn't tell anyone, all this negative attention wouldn't be on me, or I got that person in trouble, so now I'm bad. Because we're so used to telling kids, you're being bad right now because you did this to so-and-so. So they have that same mind frame when it comes to finally exposing their perpetrator. But then as professionals, as parents, as adults, we have to first tell them it's not your fault.
Yes.
This is not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Actually, you did some good.
Yes.
So kind of condition them and give them some praise. They'll understand, maybe this person was harming me, because usually your perpetrator will tell you, don't tell nobody.
Yes.
You tell somebody, I'll hurt you.
Yes.
So by using that negative force towards the child, they're not going to say anything until finally someone get caught, or they just can't take no more. So when that child finally fess up, you have to just give them a little bit of praise. You did a good job. You did good. It's not your fault. This didn't happen to you on purpose. And just kind of like recondition them.
I agree 100%. So I am enjoying this, but my show is only for a half an hour. And I know a show like this can go on and on and on because there is so much involved. But I never want to end my show without giving my guests the opportunity to make comments. So you guys, please make comments and let people know what can be done about what's going on to our children. Okay. You can know.
Well, I feel like when the children are coming to you, don't underreact. Don't play it off. Don't make them feel like they're in the wrong. Don't feel like they don't have anyone to support them. And I feel like don't overreact. Don't go out and say, we're going to go get them and make a big deal about it, even though it is a big deal. You want to be very supportive. Let them know that you believe them. Let them know that they're safe and that you are going to be there to protect them. And then also let them know that you have to alert the authorities and you're going to be right there with them the entire time. I would say don't continue to probe for the story. Allow the authorities or the ones that are trained to get the story and do the investigation. Don't try to do the investigation on your own because it can cause more harm than good.
Okay. Yep.
Last, but give your child the attention that never tell your child, I'm too busy. I can't do this with you. I can't do that for you. Be that support net for them at all times, no matter the behavior, no matter the disposition of your child. Because at the end of the day, your child is a reflection of you.
All the time.
Realize this, that once you're sitting in front of your child, this is your reflection. This is your inner you. So until as a parent, you fix what's wrong within you, you cannot fix what's wrong within that parent. So if anything, to the parent, seek help if need be. Open your closet, get those bones out, fix your inner demons, so this way you can be a better parent to your child. Me and a couple of friends always laugh and joke and say, oh, this is payback for what I did to my parents when I was little, because I had this big old mouth, I had this. But always form that bond with your child. Let your child always know that you're there, you're their friend, but you're also their parent. So not only am I going to stand beside you, I'm going to stand in front of you, and I'm going to protect you at all costs by any means necessary.
Ladies, I agree 100%. The only thing that I would add to this right here is that it's our responsibility to protect our kids, not just the ones that we birth, but any other kid that you see out there and you know that something is happening to them, that they are being abused. Speak up. You may be the one that saved that child's life. It may not be your biological, but if something was to happen to that child and you know about it, in my opinion, you just as guilty as the person that did it. I thank you ladies for coming on. I really appreciate it. I hope that 3-year-old they can tell you about their day. Exactly, Deirdre, exactly. But I thank you guys for coming on, for sharing this right here. I hope that this right here has enlightened you guys. I hope that you guys know now when you see something like this happening, do not hesitate to dial 911. Save the children. Our children cannot save themselves. That is our responsibility. So save the children. So, like I always say, all good things come to an end. But as these things come to an end, I always have to say this right here. Go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, DeMarca Management, leave comments, good, bad, or indifferent. Please leave comments. If it's any show or any topic that you want to hear about or you want me to discuss, let me know. I will do it. If you want to come on the show, I'll bring you on the show. Also go to my podcast, which is where my merchandise is at, which is at demarca.bandcamp.com. I have bags there. I have bottles there. I have t-shirts there. I'm going to add some more things to that also. Last but not least, tune in every Sunday night at 8:30 to find out what's going on in my mind. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.